Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a library. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, I would highly recommend checking out the card system for a few reasons. Not only will you find specific videos and playlists that I think that you guys might really enjoy, but I'm also going to be leaving a link to my real world building playlist. If you like this build right here, odds are you will love checking out my real world building playlist. It has loads of stuff in there that I think that you guys might really want to check out. But moving on, if you want to make the library, here's what you're going to need. You'll need some polished andesite, then grab yourself some birchwood planks, followed by dark oak planks. Flip down, grab yourself some birchwood stairs and some dark oak stairs. You're also going to need some dark oak slabs. Then flip over and grab yourself some white stained glass block. You can also use pane if you want to, it doesn't really make a difference. I just prefer block. Once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here. We're first of all going to kick this off by building a platform for the library to stand on. It's going to be a nice big giant rectangle of polished andesite. If you want to just place it on the floor, that's fine, skip this step, but for those of you that want a direct carbon copy of this, we're building it on a nice platform of polished andesite. So you're going to want to start off with a row of 50 andesite, that's 50. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should be a row of 50. Now, once you have your row of 50, you want to take a sideways view to this 50th block, and taking a sideways view and going to the right, which is that way, towards where the back of this thing's going to be, you're going to want to do a row of 30. So that's 3, 0, 30. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now, once you have that 30th block, you then want to look back on what you've made, and you want to go right of this 30th block until you can see that you have matched up with the original row of 50 that you made. So you want to match all the way back over to the very first block that you placed, and I believe that that's it. And then you just want to connect back all the way to the 50th block. Of course, if you wanted to count that out again, you just have to do a row of 49, but I think it's much easier to kind of just play it by eye and just take a look, connect it all the way back, and you'll end up with a nice big giant empty rectangular shape like this. Now, the next thing that we have to do, and this is going to be quite time consuming, which is why I think that some of you guys might choose to skip this step, we now have to fill this entire space in with polished andesite. The reason being is because I want the floor of the library to be stone like this, plus I also wanted steps to go up to the library as well, and I wanted it to be sat on a material that wasn't just the ground, so that's why I have the polished andesite as a base, and that's why I decided to do this right at the beginning of the video instead of like... I thought that I'd show you guys the dimensions of it and stuff just in case you wanted a carbon copy of it, but if not, like I said, you could have skipped ahead or you could have used any material that you might want. But I'm going to finish filling this in, guys. That's the next stage. We've got to fill this entire thing in. It's going to take a while, so I'm going to cut out and I'll be back once this entire platform has been filled in. Back in a moment. Alright, there we have a big giant rectangular slab of andesite. Once you yourself have filled that in, or if you've skipped to this point, this is what you want to do after you have the base. So come all the way to the front left hand corner of your big giant slab. You want to find the second block coming in from the left, so this is the first block and then this is the second. You then want to move up and then find the 7th block coming backwards, so this is the first, second, third, fourth, 5th, 6th, 7th. Then on top of the 7th block you want to do a row of 7 dark oak wood planks coming directly up from this andesite. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You then want to go right of this 7th block by 2, 1, 2. Then connect it down to the ground or the slab and then connect it back to itself to give you this shape. Now, once you have this shape, this is what you want to do next. So we now want to still going right, so we want to be in line with this bottom right hand corner block, still going right, but one block backwards, we want to do a row of 7 dark oak wood planks coming up from the ground again. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. You then want to, going right of this bottom block in your row of 7, you want to do a birchwood plank. Then you want to do one in going right of the 7th block as well. Then you want to do a row of white stained glass all the way in between them. Then you want to do another layer of dark oak wood planks. So going right of it, you want to have something which should look like this. And these are the two things that we're going to have to repeat time and time again. Once you have that taken care of, still going right, so we're now in line with this bottom right hand corner block again, we want to one block forwards this time, coming up from this andesite, we want to do a row of 7 dark oak wood planks again, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to go right of that 7th block by 2, we then want to connect it down to the ground, and then we want to go left by 1 to connect it together to form this shape. Once you have that, we then want to, still going right, but one block back and right diagonal, we want to do another row of 7 dark oak wood planks coming up from the ground, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to, going right of the bottom block and the top block, do a birchwood plank, then do white stained glass in between them, and then do dark oak wood planks going right, like that. Then we want to, still going right, but this time one block in front of this bottom right hand corner block, we want to do a row of 7 again. We then want to go right of the 7th block by 2, then connect it down to the ground, and then connect back to itself to form that shape. You guys are well familiar with this. What we now want to do is a little bit different. So now, still going right, but one block back once again, we want to do a row of 8 dark oak wood planks going right. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to go up 2. We then want to go right by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then go down to the ground. And then the block that touches the ground, you want to go right of it by 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You then want to, in front of, but still going right, so kind of like in front of diagonally, you want to, from this polished andesite, you want to come up by 7 again. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You then want to go right of that 7th block by 2. Then go down to the ground, and then connect back to itself. So you'll end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And now we're going to do on the right hand side what we've basically just done on the left. And what you can also do is you can kind of just do a horizontal row of dark oak wood planks that kind of like connects one side to the other just above the entrance. So that's obviously where the entrance of the library is going to go. That's just what we've made there, and you can just connect it together at the top, left to right, like that. Now, like I said, we have got to do on the right what we've just done on the left. So coming all the way back over to the right, starting from this bottom right hand corner, we want to one block backwards again, start off with a row of 7 dark oak wood planks, then do the birchwood planks at the top and the bottom going right, white stained glass in the center, then dark oak wood planks going right. Then we've got to do another column, so in front of, diagonally to the right, we want to do a row of 7, then right 2, down to the ground, whoops, did that wrong, down to the ground, like this, then connect back to itself, like that. Then we've got to do another little window portion, so still going right, backwards, we want to do a row of 7 dark oak wood planks, then birchwood plank at the top, bottom, then white stained glass in the center, then another layer of dark oak wood planks, boom. We then want to do our final column section, which is going to be, again, still going right, but one block in front of, diagonally, we want to do a row of 7 dark oak wood planks, right by 2, down all the way to the bottom, then we want to connect back. So we want to eventually end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And you may note that on the right hand side, it just stops one block short of the right. And that's exactly right, guys. That's exactly what we want to have. So once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So the next order of business is for us to turn each one of these empty column shapes that we have here, we've got to turn them 3D. So you can see that the very first shape that we started off with, where we have these empty, like, section in the center, we want to take each one of the four corners of every single one of these columns, we want to drag them back by 2 blocks, like I'm doing now. We then want to connect them together at the tops and the bottoms, and we just want to form 3D rectangular shapes like this to form, like I said, that's why I keep calling them columns. They're kind of like pillars, big column pillars, whatever you want to call them. We want to do that to every single one of them. So once you've done that to one, do the same thing to the rest of them. I believe there's 6 of them in total. I think there's about 6. The number is it's kind of irrelevant, but that's how many times we might have to do this. So do that to every single one of those 6 pillars, and what you'll also want to do, I should probably mention this now, we'll also want to fill the center of those pillars in with birchwood planks. So we're just going to make every single one of these 3D. I wanted to have the front of the place established first before we started messing about making everything 3D, because what we're going to do after the pillars are taken care of, there's kind of like an overhang, there's a bit of a walkway, a little bit of a roof sort of thing that we're going to have to add in front of the library in just a moment after we've done each one of these pillars. And I wanted this done first. So you just, once you've connected them all together, once you've made them all nice and 3D, birchwood planks all the way in the sides. You don't have to fill the very top block in with birchwood planks, you don't have to fill that in there, but you do have to do all of the other sides, or at least most of the other sides. In most cases, you'll just have to do the front and the back, so why don't I just do the fronts and the backs first, and if I have to do sides anywhere, then I'll do those where I have to. But this will be the base front of your library complete, and I will say that once the lower half of this library is done, the upper half of the library is actually quite easy, because it's just more, it's basically a bit more of the same. Like, once the bottom is done, that kind of like sets the scene for everything else. So once you've done one half, the other half is very, very simple, and it shouldn't take us too long whatsoever. We've got another row here, and what you want to end up with, guys, just to look at it from the front, we want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this, and this is looking pretty fancy, isn't it? And you know what, why don't we actually fill in the entrance section whilst we're here, because it just seems to make sense that we would take care of this. So, okay, so for the entrance, you first of all want to take out your white stained glass, and we want to go all the way around the actual entrance part where you would walk in with your white stained glass like that. You then want to take out your dark oak wood planks and go all the way around the glass that you've placed with the dark oak wood planks. So we've kind of like made 2 archways, one with glass and one with dark oak wood planks. We then want to do this one more time with the birchwood planks. So we want to go all the way around what we've just done there with birchwood planks. We then want to, starting from the top of each one of the 2 corners of the birchwood plank archway, we want to extend them to the right and left, each by 2 with birchwood planks. We then want to do white stained glass until it hits the ground, and then we just want to fill the 2 remaining rows on the left and right in with birchwood planks. And that's a lie, because the very right row wants to actually be dark oak wood planks. Whoops, my bad. So we want to have this. That's the right hand side. The left obviously has to be the same. So we're now on the left hand side. We take this top left hand corner of the birchwood plank, we extend it left with the dark oak wood, we then drop it to the ground with the white stained glass. We then do a layer of birchwood planks, and then a row of dark oak wood planks. So we just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this for the entrance. And that's perfect, guys. That is exactly what we want to have. Now, once you've got that taken care of, we can move on to the next bit. So what we now have to do, and I do believe that we have to do this. No, we'll just do it once. So basically what we want to do is we want to go all the way around on top of what we've just made with an additional layer of dark oak wood planks. So all the way on top of each one of the pillars and each one of the little window sections and even the entrance guys, we want to add an additional layer of dark oak wood planks. So we just want to go all the way around it, and we just want to add a layer of dark oak wood planks. And once this has been added, we can then work on the little overhang that we're going to have. So you just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Perfect. That's exactly what you want to have. Now, once you have that taken care of, you now want to... You see where we have this pillar left of the entrance, just left of the entrance? Well, we want to take this top left-hand corner of the pillar here, this one right here, and we want to... The block just above it, actually. Like, you want to take this block in line with the top left-hand corner of the pillar, the block just above it, and we want to extend it out in front of the library by 6 with the dark oak wood planks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You then want to connect that block all the way down to the ground, like this, and it should touch the floor right here where the andesite ends. You then want to extend that block to the right by 2. You then want to drag it all the way back up, connect it back to where you first started, then connect that block all the way to the front of your library. You then want to take the bottom 2 corners of the shape that you've made, you want to extend them back towards the library each by 2, then connect those second blocks together, then connect the second blocks all the way back up to the overhanging part that you've just extended out to form a pillar shape like this. Not only do you want to do this on the left hand side, you also want to do this on the right. So coming all the way over to the right hand side, we basically want to take this top right hand corner block, this one right here of the most right pillar, or the block on top of the right pillar, we want to extend this out by 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then go all the way down to the ground, like so, then go left of this block by 2, then connect it all the way back up to where you first started in a rectangular shape. You then want to connect it all the way back to the library, then take the bottom 2 corners of the shape you've made, extend them going towards the library each by 2, connect them together, then take each one of those back 2 corners and connect them all the way back up to the overhanging part of the library, and you'll end up with something that should look a little bit like this. Now, once you've got that taken care of, you can actually take out your birchwood planks, and you can connect each side of what you've just made with your birchwood planks. So you can actually connect... You know what, it's not actually smart to do that. You can connect them together with dark oak wood planks, connect the top 2 corners together with dark oak wood planks like this, and then underneath each layer of the, like, connecting outer rows of dark oak wood planks, you can under that do a layer of upside down birchwood stairs. So you just want to have a layer of upside down birchwood stairs on the left, the right and the front, just underneath the rows of dark oak wood planks. Then for the pillars, you want to fill the very top blocks of the pillars, like inside of each one of the 4 faces, fill the very top blocks in with dark oak wood planks like this. So you want to go all the way around the outsides of them like that with the dark oak wood planks. You then want to fill the rest of the faces in with birchwood planks. So we just want to fill all of the other faces in with birchwood planks like this. The reason that we have to do it this way is because otherwise it wouldn't match up with the actual building. That's why we're doing things this way around. That's why we've got to, like, fill in the top a little bit. Like, trust me, it's this way for a reason. The building would look a little bit weird if we didn't do this. It doesn't match up how you might think it might. So you want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this, and you might now notice that it's the same as the building. Everything is nice and even. And what we'll also be doing is we'll be taking out our dark oak wood stairs later, and we'll be making this into a proper roof. But we can do that later because we've got a little bit more to do with the front. So once you have the ground floor of the front of your library done, I think that it's probably about time that we take care of the ground floor all the way around. So once you have that taken care of, come all the way over to the very left hand side of your library. You're looking for this block right here, so it's the back center block on the very left hand side of your library, this one right here. Well, from this block you want to extend this going left by 7 towards where the back of the library is going to be with your dark oak wood planks. So that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You then want to take this 7th block and you want to go up on top of it by 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then connect it all the way back over to the front of the library like that. And then connect it all the way back down to where you first started to form a square shape. Once you have that square shape, you now want to come to the bottom left hand corner of the shape that you've just made, and in front of and still going left, you want to do a row of 3 dark oak wood planks. You then want to go on top of each one of the corner blocks by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then connect them together like that to form a pillar. You then want to, starting from the bottom left hand corner of the pillar, 1 block inwards and still going left, you want to do another row of 7 dark oak wood planks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You then want to go up by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then go right by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then connect all the way back down to where you first started to form another wall. Once you've done that, we have another pillar to do. So starting from the bottom left hand corner in front of and going backwards, we want to do another row of 3 dark oak planks. We then want to go on top of blocks number 1 and 3 by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we just want to connect them together and just form another pillar shape like this. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like that. We now want to make the 2 pillars 3D. So to make those 3D, you guys know what we have to do. We take each one of the 4 corners, we extend them, this time coming inwards. Inside of the library, we extend them coming inwards inside the library, each by 2. Each one of the corners, we then connect them together, and we just kind of like, well, we connect everything together essentially, is what I'm trying to say. You connect everything together, and you form a nice, big, giant, rectangular shape like this. We only have to do that twice, of course, and what we also have to do is fill in each one of the actual visible faces of these pillars. We have to fill them in with birchwood planks. This might take some time, so we're just going to fill in each one of the visible faces in with birchwood planks. Might take a while, but you'll end up with something that should look like this. Now, what do we do for the walls? The walls are quite easy. So starting from the very left hand side here, in the empty space going from left to right, you want to do this sequence of blocks. You want to do 1 birch, 1 dark oak, 1 glass, 1 dark oak, 1 birch. Going right still, finding this next window, we want to do 1 birch, 1 dark oak, 1 white glass, 1 dark oak, 1 birch. Then, once you have each one of those rows, you want to take every single one of those blocks, you want to extend them up until they hit the top of the frame, and you want to just completely fill them in with those materials. So, where you have birchwood planks, where you have dark oak planks, you just want to extend them going from bottom to the top, and you just want to fill in those 2 walls, and they'll look exactly like this. That is perfect, guys. Not only do you want to do this on the left hand side, you want to do that on the right. So why don't we do that to the right as well, and then we can get this thing cracking. So come all the way over to the right hand side now, and starting from the very same block, which is this one right here, it's the back middle right hand corner block, this one, and we want to go right of this block by 7 with the dark oak wood planks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then go up by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to connect all the way back and then down like this to form a square. Then you guys know what to do. Starting from in front of, still going right, we want to do a row of 3 dark oak wood planks, take blocks number 1 and 3, extend them up each by 6 or until they are in line with the square that we have on the left, connect them together at the top, and we have a pillar shape. We then, again, still going right, 1 block backwards, so go right by 7 with the dark oak wood planks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to go up by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to go left by 6. connect all the way back to where we first started to form a square shape. Then, in front of, still going right diagonally, we want to do our row of 3 dark oak wood planks. Take blocks number 1 and 3, extend them up until they are equal height with the rest of the walls, connect them together at the top, and we then have the empty right hand wall. We then have to just extend each one of the pillars inwards, each by 2 to make them 3D. We want to take each one of the corners, extend them inwards each by 2 to make nice 3D pillars. We'll then fill those in with birchwood planks. We will then fill in the walls. We'll take care of the bottom back part of the library. And then we can move on to the top part of the library, and then we can mess about with the roofs and stuff, and then we will be done. So we're just going to fill in each one of these pillars, and then we can do the walls. So I think we've just about done the pillars. I think that's every single one of those done. Once you've done the pillars, we then want to, starting from the very left-hand window, going from left to right, do this sequence of blocks in the bottom of the windows, and we'll be moving through the pillar. Do 1 birchwood plank, 1 dark oak, 1 glass, oak, birch, move through that window to the next one and do 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 glass, 1 oak, 1 birch, and then you want to take each one of those materials and you want to do an entire row of them, going from all the way from the bottom all the way up to the top. So we just want to connect from the bottom all the way up to the top. So birchwood where there's birchwood, dark oak where there's dark oak, and glass where there is glass. So we just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Now, once you have the right hand side of your library taken care of, it's now probably about time that we take care of the back of the library. So come all the way to the back of the library. Starting from, and we're on the left hand side here, on the back of course, so it's the back right hand corner of the library technically. It gets confusing. You guys know where we are. You want to take this center block in this back hand corner column, and you want to connect the back of the library left to right with a row of dark oak wood planks. So left to right, do a layer of dark oak wood planks. Then extend up the left hand side of the dark oak wood row and the right hand side of the dark oak wood row. Extend them up until they are equal height with the rest of the pillars. Then connect them together at the top. So what we're looking for is a rectangular shape. So this takes a while, obviously. The back of the library is quite long, it's about 48-ish blocks. And we want to form a nice big giant dark oak rectangular shape at the back, as you guys know. Then, starting from the bottom left hand corner side here, so on top of this block, going from left to right, do this sequence of blocks. And I would highly recommend, because it's bugging me, move the glass closer to the other birchwood and the dark oak wood plank. So going from left to right, do this sequence of blocks. Do 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 glass, 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 glass, 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 glass, 1 oak, then do 1 birch, 3 glass, 1 oak, 6 birch, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 oak, 3 glass, 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 glass, 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 glass, 1 oak, 1 birch, 1 oak, 1 glass, 1 oak, 1 birch. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Now, once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So let us just focus on this center section first of all. So you can kind of like close off this center section. You can see where we like placed a birch, then a glass, and then we started with the more glass and the birch and stuff. Close off that center section. So this center rectangular portion is completely closed off. It's separated. Once you have that, this is what you want to do. So on top of this left-hand glass section, on top of this first and second glass, place another glass. Then on top of the glass, place birchwood planks. Then do another layer of glass. Then do another layer of glass, and this time extend the right hand side to the right by 1. Take out the dark oak wood planks, and where we have like a dark oak wood plank here going right of the glass, you want to up left diagonally place another dark oak wood plank, and then you want to place a plank underneath this overhanging glass at the top and right of that overhanging glass at the top to give you this shape. Not only do you want to do this on the left, do it on the right. So we're now on the right hand side. These first 2 glass on the right, extend them up by 1, do a layer of birchwood plank on top of them, then 2 more layers of glass, take the top layer, extend it to the left by 1, then go left 1 with the dark oak wood plank, do a bottom right diagonal with the dark oak wood plank, then shifting down a couple of rows, we want to place a dark oak wood plank there on top of that overhanging glass. We then want to take out the birchwood planks, and we want to fill the center section in with birch wood. So let's fill the center section in with birchwood planks, and then we can fill in the rest of the ground floor. So there's the center section, looking quite pretty. What we can then do is, for the entire rest of the ground floor, we want to connect the bottom material all the way up to the top. So we just want to close the gap between the bottom of the library all the way up to the top of the library, exactly how you might imagine, and we just want to fill it in with said material. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's the exact same thing that we did on the sides. We just want to match the materials bottom to the top. You guys know what's happening. So we just want to do this for each one of these, and then we can move on to the next bit, which is going to be taking care of the entire second floor of the library and then the roofs. So that is the back of the library, 100% fully completed. Now, once you have that taken care of, we now want to take out our dark oak wood planks, and on top of the left hand side, the right hand side, and the back of the library, we want to stack an additional layer of dark oak wood planks. So can you guys remember when we did that at the front? And that's the reason that the front of the library is higher than the rest of the library. We want to add an additional layer of dark oak wood planks going all the way around the top of what we've just made. So we just want to add a layer of dark oak wood planks on the top, and that will be that. And then we can move on to the next bit, which, like I've said a couple of times already, we're going to be doing the second floor of the library. So everything there wants to be even. It wants to look exactly like that. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So let's start with the front second floor first of all, and then we can move on to like the sides and then the back. So you want to be on the front, and you want to be in line with the front left hand corner pillar. On top of this pillar, you want to add yet another layer of dark oak wood planks. So going all the way around this pillar, another layer of dark oak wood planks, like that. You then want to take each one of the 4 corners of those planks, and you want to extend them up, each by 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you want to do the same with the other 4 corners. Now, I'm quite confident that we have managed to get that first row right, so I don't have to count that out again. So you just want to then connect all of them together at the top to form your pillar shape, like this. And of course you can also fill that pillar in with birchwood planks. So we're just going to fill that pillar in with birchwood planks. We actually should leave this until later. This is the only one that we're going to kind of like do this, fill it in on the fly, because we won't have to fill in each one of the insides of them, and we can save ourselves some time. So that is the first pillar done. Now, what do we want to do next, guys? So we now want to, like going right, you can see here where we have what's underneath us. It's this shape, isn't it? It's this, like, it's where we have this row of dark oak wood planks, and then we have a birchwood plank at the top, we have a birchwood plank at the bottom, and then we have glass all the way up the center, and then we have dark oak wood planks on the right hand side. Well, coincidentally, funnily enough, somebody designed it so that whatever you did on the bottom part of the library, you also want to do on the second floor of the library, and this applies just about all the way around. So you can see on the right hand side here, we want to have the exact same thing. It's very, very simple. So the same would also go for this pillar. You can see where we have this pillar, where we would also want to extend it going all the way up, and we would just want to match what we have on the bottom all the way up to the top. And of course, we don't have to count anything out because we already did it with the first pillar, and we made sure that everything was nice and even. So the pillar, all you would have to do to these sections is add an extra layer of dark oak wood planks at the bottom. So you would just want to have something which would look like this, and later we can fill that in with birch wood. And then, for instance, the next section, you would notice again that we have this here, we have a window section. So we would extend the layer of dark oak wood up, we will then do birch wood planks at the top and the bottom of the middle row. Then going right of that, we would have another layer of dark oak wood planks, like this. Does this make sense? I hope it does. And then right of this, we have another pillar, and what do we have to do? We just add an extra square at the bottom of the pillar. We then raise up each one of the four corners until they are equal height with the other section of the front of the library, and we just want to do this, and we just want to come all the way over the right hand side. The middle section is where things get a little bit different, but we'll take care of that after we've done the right hand side. So we just want to have so far something which should look a little bit like this. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it, guys? That is the left hand side taken care of. Of course, we have to add the birch wood planks, but we'll do that later. That is the left hand side taken care of. Why don't we do the exact same thing on the right hand side? So we're all the way over on the front right hand corner, and we'll take this very front right hand corner pillar, we'll add a square of dark oak wood planks on top of it. We'll then, on top of each one of the four corners, we'll go up each by 12 of the dark oak wood planks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I don't have to count that out again, since I'm fairly confident that that is a row of 12. And then we just want to raise up all of the other four corners until they are all 12. And we just want to end up with another pillar shape, and that is it on the right hand side. And what's next to it? So next to it is a window section. You guys know how this works, and then it's birch wood plank at the top, the bottom, glass all the way up the center, and then dark oak wood planks on the left. We then want to add an extra layer on top of this pillar. We then want to raise up the four corners until they are equal, so on and so forth, until we eventually reach the midsection. So as I did mention, the midsection of this, the bit like in front of the top middle part of the front of the library, you know, where we had that little mini roof, or what's going to be a little mini roof, that is going to be a little bit different. So we'll do that after we've just finished this. We have one more window section and one more pillar section to do. I'm on the last window section right now, and then we can talk about that, because it's really, really easy. Actually, it's really, really simple. So this is the last pillar section. We've just got to add a square of dark oak wood planks, and even if you do get it wrong, once you compare it to the rest of the building, you'll know where you went wrong, and you'll be able to fix it. Like it simply won't look right unless you follow the same thing. It should be quite an easy fix. Like if you've went wrong, you should be able to notice it quite quickly. So you just want to have something which should look, and this is just the front so far, which should look a little bit like this. This is each one of the pillars and the walls done. Now this just leaves the middle section. What do we want to do here? So the bit, like the middle front second floor of the library, it is in line with the very back of the pillars, so you want to connect the front left hand side to the front right hand side, and they just connect like top corner blocks of the pillars to top corner blocks, like that. We also want to have a row of dark oak wood planks on the left and dark oak wood planks on the right. Plus, we also want to have a horizontal row right at the bottom of dark oak wood planks to form a nice big giant rectangular shape, like this. So it should look a little bit like that. What we then want to do is take out the birchwood planks, and we want to do a square of birchwood planks going all the way around the inside of what we've just made. So do a square of birchwood planks going all the way around the inside of what we've just made. So you guys know how that'll look, you guys can figure it out. It'll look like that. Then take out your white stained glass block, and inside each one of the four corners we actually want to do this shape. So inside each one of the four corners we want to kind of have like a stairs shape. It'll look a little something like this. It's quite easy. You want to have like 3 blocks on the left, 3 blocks on the right, 1 block in the center. You guys can see what we've done there. It's just a very simple square, very simple stair shape. Just like 3 blocks up left, 3 blocks on the bottom, 1 in the center, and you just want to do that on the bottom left hand corner, the top right hand corner, top left, bottom right. You guys know every single one of the corners we want to have this shape right here. So just want to have this. We can then completely fill the center of this in with birchwood planks. Then once that is taken care of, we can then fill in the pillars that we have to add. We obviously have to fill in some pillars, don't we, guys? And then we can move on to the sides, because the roof of this thing, we're going to leave that all the way until last. And plus, we've also got a big giant pixel art book to do on the front. This is quite a lengthy build, really, when you think about it. There's quite a lot going on, and I can only imagine how long this is actually going to take to make. So you want to have something which should so far look like this, and of course we also want to fill the pillars in. So for the most part we'll just have to fill the fronts and the backs in, but I'm sure that on the right hand side there, like the very right hand side, oh, we've also got the inside of this one to fill in. Can you guys see that? We've got the inside of this one to fill in, and probably on the opposite side as well. Yep, on the opposite side as well we've got to fill that in. Any open faces of the pillars, fill in. The ones that you can't see, obviously you don't have to bother with, like the ones that are like next to the windows and stuff, obviously a waste of time. So I would also recommend doing the insides of them as well, like the ones that would be inside of, I won't have to do that one. The ones that you'll be able to see from the inside I would also recommend filling in, because I am going to be doing an interior for this library, probably in a separate video, because this is going to take long enough as it is. I don't want to bunch everything together. So you just want to have something which should look a little bit like this so far. That's the front of the library. Once you've got that taken care of, it's now time for us to move on to all of the other sides of the library. So the left hand side, for instance, and on the left hand side here, it's just the exact same as the right. We want to have pretty much the exact same thing going on. So I think that we're going to have to add yet another layer of dark oak wood planks going all the way around the top of the library. So just add another layer of dark oak wood planks going all the way around the top of the library. You can do that. That won't take very long, and it'll save us a little bit of time later having to do it for individual pillars and the individual walls. So just add another layer of dark oak wood planks going all the way around the top, and it will just make everything a little bit easier. And then we can work on the walls. And the walls, I think that you guys are going to find extremely easy, because it's the exact same thing that we've done on the front, except, as I keep saying, we're going to be doing it on the side this time. The only difference being is the very back center part of the library. That's going to be a little bit different. But we're on the left hand side. What do you want to do? Well, you can see we basically want to do this. So we just want to, where we have each material just under these few rows of dark oak wood planks, well, you want to extend the materials up until they are equal height with the very front of the library, and then you can connect them together at the top here to form kind of like an elongated, there we go, not an eel wall, an elongated wall. And then you just kind of want to fill them in exactly how you did the bottom. So you kind of just want to drag the walls up until they are equal height with the front of the library, connect them together at the top to form a solid wall, and then you just want to, whatever materials are below, you just want to follow those through all the way up to the top of the library. Not only does this apply to the wall sections, but this also applies to the pillar sections. So we just want to go all the way around, and we just want to end up with something, and I'm just showing you the first two bits. So you just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like that. So that's a wall section, that's a pillar section. We basically want to have more of the same. So where we have this wall next to it, it's the exact same thing. We want to drag up each one of the ends, connect it together at the top, and then we just want to extrapolate the materials that we have on the bottom, and we want to move them all the way up to the top. I hope that I'm explaining this well enough. I think that you guys will get it. I'm sure that you will, and if you don't get it from me describing it, I'm sure that you'll manage to understand by looking at it. I mean, once you can see what I'm actually doing, rather than me just talking about it, I think that that's when things might click a little bit, because I'm not sure whether, I'm not sure whether what I'm saying is actually sinking in or not, but you'll just want to have something which should look a little bit like this, and obviously we'll also have to fill in the pillars, and we'll just want to have something which, from the outside at the very least, we'll just start with the outside, we'll want to have something which should look a little bit like that. Perfect. Once you've done that on the outside, we must also do it to the inside. So we're on the inside, we just want to add a layer of birch wood planks here to the inside, and we'll also have to do one on the back here, but we won't have to do it to the inside pillar here. But once you have done that on the left hand side of your library, move all the way over to the right hand side of the library and do it there as well. So we're on the right hand side here, we've already added the extra layer of dark oak wood planks, so what we then just have to do, we just have to do the wall sections first. You guys know how this works. We take the left hand corner, the right hand corner of the wall, we drag them up until they are equal height with the rest of the library, we then connect it together at the top, and then whatever materials we have, whether it be dark oak wood planks or birch or glass or whatever, we then drag those all the way up from the bottom and we drag them all the way up to the top like this. So we also do that for the pillars as well. We've already done this once, so I'm not going to really describe it again. There's no real need, is there? So all there is to do it. Nothing to it but to do it. I believe that the great Ronnie Coleman once said that. Ain't nothing but a peanut as well. One of his great quotes. I don't know what I'm talking about, but we're just doing the walls here. The back is slightly trickier, but I'll go through that quite thoroughly, and I'll make sure that that we all understand how to do that. My voice is actually dying. I've been talking for so long. It's been so long. I can hear myself saying a lot as well, which is never a good sign. Probably need to grab a drink of something. But those are the walls. Let's do the pillars. Oh, we have to do the back right-hand corner pillar as well. But we can fill this center one in first of all, and then we can move it on to the back. So on the back here again, it's the same practice. We just drag up all four of the corners until they're equal height with the wall. And then we, whoops, what am I doing? Till they're equal height with the wall. Then we just have to fill in the relevant sides. In this case, it'll be the outer side and the back side of this thing. And then we can do the very back of the library. So we just want to have something which, and I'm just going to give you guys kind of like a dynamic view of this, something which should look exactly like that. And that is perfect, guys. That is the right hand side of the library complete. Now for the back of the library, let's talk about this. So you're on the back of the library, take out your dark oak wood planks and connect the back of the library to the back of the library. So connect the back left hand corner of the library to the back right hand corner of the library. You guys all know where to do this. It's right at the top here, and it's right in the center of each one of the two pillars. So we just want to form a big giant rectangular shape like this. We then want to, you guys can see where we have like the center middle section here at the bottom of the library. Well, take the outer rows of dark oak wood planks on the left and right hand sides and just extend those up to kind of like section off the middle part of the library to the rest of it. So we want to have this kind of canvas to work with. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Take out your birch wood planks. Do a layer of birch wood planks all the way around the inside of the big rectangular shape that we have right here. So we want to form a nice big rectangular shape with the birch wood planks going all the way around the inside of this center part. Like that. Then, inside of each one of the four corners, we want to take out our white stained glass. And can you guys remember what we did on the front? Well, we want to have the same thing going all the way around the inside of the four corners of the back. So we want to do the same thing up on the back here, as we did the front. The only difference being is on the back, we're also going to be adding something a little bit different. We're going to be taking out our dark oak wood planks, and diagonally in front of each one of these staircases, we want to do a dark oak wood plank. So diagonally in front of, so just in front of really, we just want to have a few layers of dark oak wood planks to form kind of like, I suppose it looks like an eye or something. We can then fill the center of it in with birchwood planks, not birchwood planks. Or you could fill it in with glass actually. I did contemplate a little bit more glass for this library because this place is a little bit dark, but I mean, artistic license and all that, you guys can do whatever you want. So we're just going to fill the center part of this in, and this incidentally is the hardest part. This is the hardest part of the back part of the library. The rest of it, you guys will already know what you have to do. So for the rest of this thing, we just want to take whatever materials we have on the bottom and extend them coming up the top. So whatever material you have down below here, so we have birchwood planks, you want to do birchwood planks. Where you have oak wood planks, do oak. Where you have glass, do glass. Easy as that. Didn't I say that the second floor of this library is vastly, vastly easier to the second floor, so, or the first floor. The second floor is easier than the first, is what I'm trying to say, but come on guys, it's been a little while. We've been at this recording thing for a bit. Oh, have we? We need to give the old voice a rest in a minute. So that's the left-hand side done. We're already moving on to the right-hand side. I don't feel the need to show you each one of these individual sections because we have done it so many times already. You guys already know what you have to do. That's a birchwood plank. Now we have to do dark oak wood planks, and then white stained glass, and then we just have to do dark oak wood planks, then some birchwood planks. Then, what is it? Dark oak wood planks, and then inside of that will be white stained glass, dark oak, then birch, then oak wood planks. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like this for the back of the library. That's what you want to have. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So come all the way around to the front of your library. You might notice that in line with like the very top of the overhanging part that we have like in front of the library, it kind of lines up with like the middle row of 3 dark oak wood planks that we have like running up the side. This is a really silly way to describe it, but up the side you might notice that we have like a kind of separating layer of 3 dark oak wood planks in the pillars. Well, that's no mistake. What we want to have is a row of dark oak wood planks that kind of like goes all the way around the center of the library, and it goes all the way around, and it kind of like loops in front of the library, and it goes around the bit that overhangs, like the little bit of shelter that you have, the little bit of a walkway. But we want to have dark oak wood stairs that go all the way around the very center part, and it kind of just cuts the library in half. And that is why we had to add so many extra layers of dark oak wood planks, just because we wanted to maintain the shape of each one of the pillars and the shape of each one of the walls. That's why we had to add additional layers, because we want to have a row of dark oak wood planks that goes, boom, that goes all the way around the very center of the library, and as you can see, it goes in front of the little walkway as well. And what you'll also have to do is you'll just have to fill in the little center bits where you have walls, like in between the pillars where you have walls, you'll just have to fill in those little center bits with dark oak wood planks, because otherwise you'll have, whoops, what am I doing? Otherwise you'll have a load of gaps in this thing, and that is no good. So you're just going to want to fill those center bits in with dark oak wood planks, otherwise you'll have a load of holes in your library, and you probably don't want that. Maybe you do. Maybe you're crazy. Maybe that's it. Maybe you're crazy, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't have that. So what we'll also do is we will fill the center part of the little overhanging part of the roof that we have here. So we'll fill this in, maybe even with glowstone. Maybe we'll even add a couple of strips of glowstone. Reason being with the glowstone is it gets very dark under here. Nah, you know what? I don't feel like I want to add any glowstone to it. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. We can just add a couple of torches in front of the entrance, and we'll have the same effect. And it saves us having to install any glowstone in the roof here. Although you definitely could do that if you wanted to. There's nothing stopping you if you actually wanted to do that. So this is what you'll kind of end up having, and you guys have already seen, like, going all the way around, you'll end up with something that should look a little bit like this. Now, so once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So once again, guys, we're going to have to add an additional layer of dark oak wood planks going all the way around the top of our library. Trust me, this is the last time that we have to do this. I'm sorry that we have to do it again, that we have to keep doing it, because I know how mundane it is and I know how long it takes, but it really is quite necessary for the next bit that we have to do. So we have to do the roof. The roof is actually quite easy. So the roof is it's one big giant roof, but we're going to have to start it at 2 points, and we're going to have to connect it together. So on the front left hand side and the front right hand side, there's basically two fancy triangular looking shapes, which are going to be the hardest parts of this. We'll have to connect those together at the front, and then everything else connects together at the back. So the hardest part of this is definitely the front portion of it. Once that's done, everything else falls into place quite nicely. So we've just about finished adding the layer of dark oak wood planks. Once that's done, we can actually move on to the details of this, and like I said, that's hopefully going to be the harder part done once we've done the details. So once you've added your additional layer of dark oak wood planks, you want to be on the front left hand corner top part of the roof. And in the center of this front left hand corner top pillar here, on top of this you want to place a dark oak wood plank. Then from this, do 5 upper right diagonals with your dark oak. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go right by 2. Then do bottom right diagonals until you connect all the way over down on the equivalent side. So all being right, you should connect all the way down to the opposite pillar on the other side, like this. What we now want to do is fill the center portion of this in. So to do this, you want to place a dark oak wood plank underneath the top, center, middle 3 dark oak wood planks. Then do a row of birch wood planks directly underneath each one of the dark oak wood planks that we placed, like that. Then do a layer of dark oak wood planks underneath the layer of birch wood planks. So underneath each one of the birch wood planks, place a dark oak wood plank. Underneath that, do a layer of white stained glass underneath each one of the dark oak wood plank blocks. Then, underneath the glass, do a layer of dark oak wood planks again, so dark oak wood planks underneath that layer. Then, place a layer of glass underneath the dark oak, and in the very bottom center block, place a birch wood plank, like this, to give you this. What you now want to have should look a little bit like this, and this is... well, this is just a little tricky to explain. So what we want to do is take out the dark oak wood stairs, and on the sides of the library, we want to have a layer of dark oak wood stairs that just overhangs the side of the library on the front and the side. So you can see where we kind of have like a layer of dark oak wood stairs there on the left and right now. Well, we then want to connect those overhanging dark oak wood stairs, like in front of the library, together with a row of dark oak wood planks going from left to right. So we want to have those overhang and then connect them together going from left to right. And then what we want to do is then build up the rest of the roof. So the roof is actually quite simple. The roof, the overhanging parts, so the very first parts of the roof and the very top part of the roof, those are dark oak wood. But the middle part of the roof, the bit that actually makes up the majority of the roof, is made of birch wood stairs. And it's going to look a little something like this. So I'm building the first part of the roof now for you guys. I'm kind of getting into this a little bit because I think it's going to be easier to see what you have to do once we've actually built a little bit up. So, like, the front part of the roof will be birchwood stairs like that. And then you'll notice that the very end of the roof, which is going to be here, this wants to be dark oak wood stairs. So you want to have the most outer row dark oak wood stairs, the middle part wants to be birchwood stairs. So this is the right hand side of the roof. And what we're also going to want to do, I'm going to show you all of this in one go. The most overhanging part of the roof, we want to have, well, I mean the overhanging part of the roof I should say, you want to do upside down dark oak wood stairs, like underneath the, well, the overhanging parts of the roof. So these two rows here, we want to have upside down dark oak wood stairs. Plus we also want to fill this gap in here that we have just below the roof. So we want to have this. And on top of the roof, we want it a little bit more shaped. We want to have dark oak wood slabs in the center to kind of bring it to more of a point like that. That is the roof, guys. So that's the front left-hand part of the roof. Let's do the front right-hand part of the roof and I'll show you how everything then connects together. So come all the way over to the right-hand side now. And starting from this middle section of this very top front right hand corner pillar block, we want to, on top of this block here, we want to go up by 1 with the dark oak wood planks, then do 5 up left diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then go left 2, then do bottom left diagonals until you connect to the opposite point on the front right hand corner of the house. So we want to connect to the opposite point, then place a dark oak wood plank underneath that top center middle dark oak wood plank. We then want to, underneath each one of those dark oak woods, we want to do a birch wood plank. Underneath that, another layer of dark oak wood. Underneath that, glass. Underneath that, dark oak again. Underneath that, glass. Then we want to do birchwood planks right in the center bottom to give us this shape once again. Now for the roof part, we want to take out our dark oak wood stairs again and we want to do a little bit of the roof. And remember that the roof it starts on the sides, the very sides of the library, so it overhangs the sides by 1, plus it overhangs the front by 1 row as well. And the center part of the roof, the actual proper part of the roof, the big giant most mass covering part, wants to be birchwood stairs, but the bit that overhangs, as I've said a couple of times already, wants to be dark oak wood stairs. This bit wants to be dark oak wood stairs, the bit that overhangs, and we're just working on the exact same thing that we did on the opposite side, adding in the birchwood stairs now, then we'll be connecting everything together. Oh, plus we're also going to have to connect the two overhanging parts of the roof together. At the bottom, we're going to have to do a horizontal row of dark oak wood planks here right at the bottom, so this bit connects together like this. We then want to fill the top center part of this roof in with dark oak wood planks. We then want to add this overhanging layer of dark oak wood stairs on the right hand side, because after we've done that, we can then do the underhanging layer of dark oak wood stairs. So we can now do upside down dark oak wood stairs everywhere around here. Once we've done that, we've just got the top part to do here, so this is going to be dark oak wood planks here. Then we're going to want to do dark oak wood slabs just in the center, just to give the roof a little bit more shape. And we'll end up with something that should look a little bit like this. So there you go, the front left and the front right hand parts of the roof complete. Well, how does everything else connect together, guys? Well, here's how it works. So the outer part of the roof connects together like this. So the bits on the very left hand side and the very right hand side, they connect together as you might imagine. You go all the way around the long part of the library, so going all the way around the long part of the library, so from like so going like clockwise all the way from the left hand side all the way to the right hand side, dragging itself all the way across. We just want to connect the outer parts to the outer parts, if that makes sense, and I hope it does. So like it'll connect together like that with that layer of dark oak wood stairs. You guys will be able to see how it connects together, and you'll be able to see now with the layer of birchwood stairs, and this is the last layer that I'll be doing on recording for the outer part of the roof. It'll connect together like that. So the outer part will connect to the outer part, the hard bit's already done. The inner part of the roof will connect exactly how you might guess as well. It's going to connect in a similar way, except it's a little trickier, simply because the roof on the inside is, well, I mean, you guys will see what I'm talking about in a second. So you can see that the outer part of the roof connects together. On the outer part, it goes all the way around, and it just connects from one side to the other. So the inner part here, and by the way, the roof connects at the center here. Can you guys see at the center? So at the top center portion of this, we do have another layer of dark oak wood stairs. So it connects from the left to the right, the front, left, and the right. Then the same with the birchwood stairs. So one row backwards, of course, one row higher, we connect the center rows together. So a little bit harder really than the rest of it, because I mean, the rest of it, I guess it just kind of makes sense. You probably figure that out by yourselves, and you might even figure this out by yourselves as well. But the inside part of the roof, it does connect together going from left to right, except there's no guidelines in there or anything. You've just got to kind of like layer it up exactly like a normal roof, and you just go from one side to the other, and it's a little bit tricky a lot of the times with the angles and stuff, but you can see how this roof's going to connect together, and we've just about completed this. We've just about finished the center part. Where most of the time is going to be taken is the back part of the roof. The back part of the roof will take quite a bit of time, and boom, boom, boom. The back part of the roof will take quite a bit of time, but there's no other way around that. So you can see how the front center part of the roof is going to be taken care of. You know how the back part's taken care of. All the way on top of it, after you've finished, you'll just want to do a layer of dark oak wood slabs. I'll show you that once this has been finished. So, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to take care of the roof because this tutorial is long enough already. Once I've taken care of the roof, I'll be back, and then we'll talk about it. Then we'll put the final touch on this house. So I'll be back in just a second. Once I've completed the roof, it'll take a while. Okay, so this is what the roof should look like once it's been 100% fully completed. As you can see, it's not all that complicated. It's just somewhat difficult to explain whilst you're actually building it. That's why sometimes when I say these things, when I try to describe it, it seems like things are a lot harder when they actually are quite simple. So you can see how the center part connects together, you can see how the outer part connects together, and you can see that at the top where you'll be left with a big giant hole where you run out of stairs, you fill the top of that in with your old pal dark oak wood slabs, and they're just in line with the ones that you placed at the edges of the roof earlier. So once you've got that taken care of, there's only really two things left to do with your library. So the only two things left to do are the interior and the big giant book that we're now going to be placing on the outside of this thing. So I'm going to get rid of all of these materials because we don't really need them anymore, and I'm going to grab some new ones. So to do the book in front of the library, we need some black stained clay, some brown stained clay, we'll need some cyan stained clay, some yellow stained clay, we'll also need some light grey wool, some white wool, and we'll also need some brown wool. A lot of materials involved. Once you have each one of those, you want to come to the top center part of your library. Well, it's not the top center part. You want to be like on top of this little mini roof here, and you want to locate this block right here. So you can see the bottom right hand corner of this pillar, like on the second floor on the inside of the left. You guys can see where we are. Well, going right of this, we want to find the 7th block inward. So we'll just use something to mark this up. We want to find the 7th block inward. So it'll be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7th. And on that 7th block, you want to place a black stained clay. And I'm just going to get rid of that yellow stained clay that we just used to mark it out. So you're on the 7th block. You want to place a black stained clay. Then do 5 up left diagonals with your black stained clay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go right by 1. Then do an upright diagonal. Go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal. Go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal. Go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal. Go right by 2. Then do 5 bottom right diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go down by 2 with the cyan stained clay. That's 1, 2. Then 2 with the black stained clay. 1, 2. Go left 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal. Left 1. 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 This will form the outside of your book shape. Once you have that taken care of, you now want to take out your brown wool. Starting from on top of the very first black stained clay that we placed, place a brown wool. Then do 4 up left diagonals with the brown. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. You then want to go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then take the second block in that row of 3 and go right by 1. Follow it up by doing 3 bottom right diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. Then go right by none. Take out your brown stained clay. Then go right by 2. Then do an upright diagonal. Go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal. Go right by 1. Upright diagonal, right 1. Then do an upright diagonal. Then go down from that brown stained clay with a white wool, followed by a light grey wool. Then take out your brown stained clay once again and just place brown stained clay on top of each one of those bottom black stained clays to kind of form this shape. It kind of looks like a big giant tick, really malformed, weird looking tick, but a tick nonetheless. Now we have to fill this thing in, so the easiest way to do this, I think, is going to be this. So take out your white wool, and starting from on top of this brown wool diagonal that we have here, you want to place a white wool here, then do 3 bottom right diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3. Then going right of this, we want to do 2 light grey wool, then upright diagonally from this, another light grey wool, then do a white wool going right, do an upright diagonal with your light grey, go right by 1 with the white, do 2 upright diagonals with your white, that's 1 and 2, like this, and then you want to take this white wool here, do an up left diagonal from it, and this white wool here, do an up left diagonal from it. So you want to end up with this colour sequence here, and I know that it might have been hard to follow that bit, but hey, those are the breaks. You then want to fill the lower half of this book in with light grey wool, and those are just the pages of the book, just the light grey and the white wool. Once you have those filled in, we now want to do the top part of the book. So you want to come to the top portion of the book, and you're actually looking for this block right here. You guys can find the one, it's very near the top 3 blocks of the book. From this block, you want to do a bottom right diagonal with your brown clay. You then want to go down 1, right by 2. You then want to place an additional 2 blocks underneath these 2 blocks. Then extend the bottom right hand corner of this block right by 1 with your brown clay. Then, on the opposite side of where you were, so you're going left of this brown clay, you want to go left by 3 of the yellow stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3. Then do a brown clay, then do a bottom right diagonal with the brown clay to form this. What we can then do is just completely fill this thing in with yellow stained clay. You don't have to use yellow stained clay, you might want to use orange, or you might even want to use a type of wood, honestly, because I'm not 100% dead set on the yellow stained clay for the book. It can really be whatever colour you want, it's just that it's nice and vibrant and it kind of sticks out. That's kind of why I like it, but on the other end it doesn't really fit. So that's the book, guys. That is the last thing for the exterior of this place that you might want to do, although you might want to take out your polished andesite and you might just want to extend out the front of the platform that your library sits on. You might just want to extend that out in front by 1 row, just so that you have more of kind of like a walkway. And you might also want to grab some stairs, and you might just want to throw some stairs in line with the steps or the entrance to the library. So you might just want to make that look a little bit nicer from the front, and of course on the sides, if you want to make this bigger, or if you want to make it smaller, or if you want to change it at all, you can, but you might just want to do that to the front, and that will be the exterior 100% fully complete. Now, I do have an interior for this, which I'm now going to show you guys. So this is the 100% fully completed building, done. There's nothing more to it. That is it. There's nothing more to do with the outside of this building, guys. That's it. I can't show you anymore. But I'm going to flip over and I'm going to show you the interior of this thing, and you guys can decide whether or not you're going to want to make it, which is going to be a separate video anyway. I'll explain it in just a second. So back in a moment, guys. Tutorial portion of this over, but that is the building actually 100% fully complete. Well, does this look familiar? We're literally just in my creative world number 6. We've just flipped over. Let me show you what I'm talking about with the interior. So the interior, and it's not 100% fully done yet, I don't think. This is the inside of the library, and it's actually a really simple interior that hasn't obviously been done very well because we've forgotten some stairs on the right, but you guys get the idea. All that's basically been added, we've added a few bookshelves. I think that there's 7 of them in total that's been added, and we have some lights, we have a second floor, we have a welcome desk, we have some stairs. That's pretty much all that's been added to this, and doesn't this place actually look quite good? It actually looks quite functional, doesn't it? Doesn't the inside of this place actually look quite nice? Well, if you would like a slightly better version of this being tutorial, because I will have to add some finishing touches to it before I actually do a tutorial for this, let me know down in the comments. I've offered to do this before with various other restaurant builds, but I think that since this is a library, it would make sense that I actually show you how to do this. So if you do like this, you've got to let me know down in the comment section. If you can make a top comment, let me know. Do you want to see me do an interior guide for this? It's quite easy. It could go up tomorrow, or it could go up Friday, or possibly the weekend. It'd only be a couple of days after this. I'm going to work on it anyway because I want to show this off in my Creative World tour. So I'll have to work on this. Let me know whether you want to see me do a tutorial for this thing, because it is very simple. It's quite easy. You could probably do one either better yourself or one equally as good yourself without any guidance whatsoever, but I'm sure that some of you might want to make this specific one because I think it does look quite nice. It does look quite nice. So you guys will have to let me know if you want to have an interior guide. But other than that, hopefully, let's get this UI off. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Hopefully you've managed to make the library for yourselves. I know it's been a very long tutorial. If you've managed to do both of those things, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out. I would always vastly appreciate. You guys know I do. I love it when you guys show me support. You give the video a like, you give it a favourite, you give it a share, you comment down below, what do you want to see me make next? I'd love it if you guys could tell me whether you want to see that interior. And if you guys do, I'll be checking the comments in the morning after I've worked on the interior myself. I might make the video tomorrow, it might get posted tomorrow, but more than likely it will get posted within the next 4 days, more than likely. Hopefully you guys like it, hopefully you've managed to make it. Like, favourite, share if you wouldn't mind, comment down below, let me know whether you want me to see the interior guide, let me know what else you want to see because I'm really interested. Check out the card system for various videos and playlists I'm going to leave in there. Plus, I'm also going to leave very important playlists, my real world building playlist that I think that you guys might really want to check out. Also, if anything in this world has kind of tickled your fancy, like anything that you may have seen in the background, check out my Creative World 6 tour. A new one will be going up on Sunday, showcasing everything that I've been building over the past couple of weeks. Like, favourite, share if you wouldn't mind, comment down below, let me know about the interior, check out the card system. I'll see you guys in the next video.